What is dance technique? It is an algorithm that lets you move without learning any specific moves. Technique is just a formula. If you have that formula, you do not need to memorize the results of the calculations. In dance, you are no longer tied to specific motion tracks. Technique lets you generate moves on the fly.
Can you truly dance if you only learn to dance in the first place? A memorized routine does not always mean you can dance. The 0 point where dance begins is the skill of holding a steady, straight beat with the body's strongest muscles. Learn a dance that skips this, and the body won't fully join in.
You can learn a dance. That is even great for a performance. But in everyday life, we react spontaneously, and we do not speak in memorized verses. Any dance at a party is improvisation. To speak, you need words and the rules of speech. To build a dance on the fly, it is enough to know a few simple cyclic moves and the rules for combining them. Today, this is the most practical dance format in real life. Now, you're at home, standing in your room, and maybe you think it limits you. For a moment, it feels like a cage. If only I could go to the gym, ride, take a walk. A whole list of active options flashes through your head. But in truth, there are no limits. There is a world that for many is even more captivating than sport. Listening to music, you can feel emotions that cannot be reached in any other way. This is the space where dance exists, and it is available right here, right now. Yet for many, it stays out of reach. To learn to dance, you need a mirror, shoes, music. The body can move in countless unusual ways. Understanding and learning these algorithms is a fascinating pursuit. Exploring them feels like opening hidden doors. Once you start to see how dance mechanics work, you cannot ever stop. It pulls you in. Dance is an intellectual activity where body and mind work hard. I think without music, it would lose its meaning and turn into simple drills. Dance is not fitness, but a creative process where movement meets sound and gains new meaning. This is how art is born. Fashion must reckon with function, and demands for function grow with technical progress. The bar keeps rising. Physiological limits are a given. They exist outside fashion. We surround ourselves with inventions that increase productivity and comfort. This tendency does not change, and it can predict the future of any human activity, including the evolution of dance. To become popular, the dance of the future must be safe, universal, balanced, and comfortable for the performer, with a wide range for expression. It should draw on classical technique, yet carry a modern design of movement, and it must make sense today as well. So we can speak on the dance floor in the body's language. Dance must be improvisational, like our speech. Not rehearsed, but alive. To learn this, you don't memorize combo sequences, like you don't memorize poems to learn to talk. You learn words and the rules for joining them, then say what you want. Nobody speaks in verse. The rules for joining moves must stay simple. The dance of the future needs a beautiful, plain, clear structure. Free, but structured. A short description of my work for the last 25 years. I started nitpicking the idea of style back in my teens. It always felt like something about it was off, so I pushed at it. On one hand, a well-made work carries its own unique style. On the other, style is a constraint, a set of rules you do not always want to obey. By breaking rules, we create fashion, music, and any other design. Styles are like ready-to-eat dishes on a restaurant menu. But if you want to cook something interesting, you need to understand the ingredients. For me, dancing by template would make no sense. It feels empty. Creativity needs experiment, and you must learn to think in ingredients, not styles. Basic principles of biomechanics, plus the techniques and algorithms beneath various styles, are the very components that let you create new styles by improvising in real time, on the spot. Dance differs in different eras. Sometimes dance made a breakthrough. Ballet, breakdance, oriental, Latin dance, acrobatic rock and roll use new principles. But the number of principles is physically limited. You cannot endlessly invent something new without making dance more complex. Sooner or later, a moment comes when, to create the new, you must combine the old. There is nothing wrong with that.
Dance gets ordered and adapts to society's needs. Today, any fitness center can give a new name to a dance built from a few long-forgotten moves. Style names help you orient yourself a bit, but new styles are harder to read at first glance, too. If you study dance closely, it becomes clear that there are styles that turned into classics, a base for the other styles: modern dance, breaking, and more. If you look even closer, you can pick out the techniques that those classic styles are built on. For example, alignment of body parts to planes, posture holding, turns around the vertical axis, rhythmic leg and footwork, and many other techniques. The list goes on, far beyond this. Understanding technique gives you the capacity to invent new styles or to improvise beyond your familiar moves in real time. Technique is the corridor of a dancer's physical possibilities. How you walk it is already art itself. For our ancestors, survival required saving energy, which is why sensations so often mislead us again and again. It seems comfort lives in relaxation, but that is true only if rest regularly alternates with phases of activity. Otherwise, the body deteriorates. Tone and technique give that same comfort in motion that sedentary people reach only at rest. Discipline is not a limit on freedom. It is cutting away what is unnecessary, nothing more. What if the moment is gone and it is already too late to dance? People say it. It is a trick to do nothing, not an excuse. For a sedentary person, dance can help with pain in knees or back, a weak heart, dizziness, depression, excess weight, low immunity. It can help with communication problems and low self-esteem. For many, dance does not help. It cannot help a person who does not dance. The worse your mobility, the more you need to move, and the more you can gain from dance practice. Why have I been practicing cyclical dance for so many years? Probably because I love the cyclic side of music. When I first heard electronic music, the sound impressed me, but it was not clear how to dance to it. In those years, I was still doing just partner ballroom dancing. To become more modern, I began studying hip-hop and breakdance. It felt much cooler than ballroom. A whole musical world opened up, yet I still did not have enough cyclical moves to really dance to electronic music the way I wanted. I kept searching for them. Even after I opened my dance school, I did not stop ever. The result of my work on cyclic movement became Dancycle, a simple dance system and a library of all possible cyclic combinations. Dancycle is what it is because I cannot imagine anything simpler or more elegant. The core of the program is a set of simple algorithms that every move is built on. If this topic resonates, join me on Telegram, live chat, and rare material. All kids learn to move from zero, but those with more practice develop better. Good control of your body is not a gift from nature. It is the result of work. Coordination is a cumulative skill. No one gets it for free. If you train from childhood, you can figure things out yourself through trial and error. You can be a strong performer and still not know how to teach because you do not understand how you do it. Understanding is a system you can pass on to another person. It replaces talent. A teacher's job is to give the instructions and show what the result will be. To dance well, you do not need a gift or talent, and you do not need to start as a child. At any age, it is enough to learn a very specific set of techniques. Support the project via QR code or link in description here. Is this rubber edible? What do we do with duck meat? Wild game lovers rack their brains. They go to all sorts of tricks to make edible the meat of slowly dying out wild animals and migratory birds. It is so unlike farm chicken. The very same difference in the structure of muscle fibers shows up between an office clerk and an athlete. A body can be flabby like boiled chicken breast or resilient like rubber. It all depends on lifestyle. The body doesn't care whether we make decisions consciously or just drift with the current in the flow of time. While we are busy with office worries or rest after work stress lying on the couch, the body keeps renewing itself, adapting to our way of life. It removes everything extra we do not use. Muscle tissue is replaced by stores of unused energy as fat deposits, which we have to carry with us around. Stay in good shape and protect your health.